Alright y'all, I found some shit out a little while back. I'm making a video on it now because it's baffling. I think it speaks volumes to the fact that this archetype system was a mistake. At first, I didn't know what to think about it. I kind of like and hate the system. It just seems like if it was done properly, that it would have been a lot of fun. But it clearly wasn't, and therefore people are angry. So you play on the My Career side of things, you know that the main complaint people have is we want to play like superstars. You know, we want to play like Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson. We don't want to play like Kyle Korver. Like, we want to be able to shoot threes, but that's the only thing we can do? You ever stop to ask yourself, how the fuck is, if I can only shoot threes, I have a 95 overall player? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, you start to look around and compare yourself with some of the other athletes in the NBA like LeBron or Curry, some of these top tiered talent. And those guys have a similar overall to you if you have a maxed out My Career player. So I was doing an interview with a buddy from #basketball and he brought it up. He said he saw it on Reddit. I was like, wait, I remember Low telling me about this before. So shout out to Legend of Winning. I want y'all to try something right now, okay? I want you to create a player using the exact stats that your My Career guy has and tell me what pumps out. Tell me the overall. So that's what I did. So I recorded just a series and took screenshots of all of my attributes in My Career. And I went down to the options tab, went to create a player, and I wanted to recreate my player, all of its attributes in My Career. You know, I adjusted the height, the weight, made sure everything was on point. I even played around with some of the peak you know how you can peak when your potential hits, etc. I played with all the attributes to see if anything else, there was any other factors I was missing. And then I started to input all the attributes. I just started to take all the attributes I had on My Career and put them in, bop, bop, bop. And the outcome was an 81 overall player. But 2K, I have a 91 overall player when I'm playing on My Career. How the fuck is when I create the player, it's an 81? But it makes sense. You sit back and you think about it, it's like, yeah, of course, agent, come on. Like, until you test it, you don't really think about it. But if you can only do one thing really well, how the fuck can you have a 90 overall player? How many players do you know of that 2K ranked over a 90 that only do one thing really well? They all do multiple things really well. If they do probably some of them everything really well. Kawhi is the example of a player who does everything really well. He can grab rebounds, he can dime, he's a good passer, really good shooter. He hit posts, he does high post fades often. He can do it all on defense. Don't even get me started. And so here's what I think is, I think 2K did this archetype system. The application of it was awful, and they're like, people are gonna be really fucking furious if they come out with 81. Some Legend of Winning told me when he recreated his glass cleaner that he came out with the 85 to 86. I recommend y'all do the same and let me know in the comments and give a hashtag. Hashtag what the fuck 2K, WTF 2K. I want y'all to do that in the comments. If you want to, you can at LD and Ronnie on Twitter. You can do the same thing because we need some answers. Because can you imagine the outrage if you upgraded your player all the way and you found out that your player that you grinded all this time for was an 84 overall. And then you just sit back and think about it. So I've been making all these moves and doing all this shit with the 81 overall player. I think it's gonna be even worse for stretch bigs. You probably have a worse ratio. So 2K did the archetype system. They're like, wow, people really aren't gonna like the fact that we gave him garbage ass players to play with this year. Especially the guys from My Career who don't give a fuck about Park or Pro-Am. Those guys are just like, yo, I just want to play offline. I don't want to go through all that other shit. I proposed systems in the past where they can implement a secondary or a tertiary archetype system where there's a second or a third archetype you can choose. See, if you're a shooter, say you're a sharpshooter, you want to be a lockdown defender and a shot creator, you won't get the 94 moving shot that shot creators get, but you can bump up to like an 86, 87, you know? So if there was a secondary, tertiary archetype system, you won't be confined to just one thing. That'd change the entire game. That'd make it so much more fun to play. But instead what they do is allow you to choose just one thing. And this is the result. And the funny part is they pretty much lie about the overalls. They give you a make-believe overall in 2K, and they didn't think at one point that people would try and see if it matched up. They didn't think that somebody would figure this shit out. I mean, there was a Reddit thread about it. Legend of Winning figured it out when he was making one of his own videos. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, every single time I'm playing 2K, I can't help but think, every time I look at my player, it's an 81 overall. I'm playing with an 81 overall. And what's perhaps something even more mind-boggling is for my sharpshooter, when I was looking through the attributes, I picked up on something I've never seen before. My offensive consistency was at 40. Yo, so it gets me thinking. It's like, why does 2K benefit from me being inconsistent as fuck? It said the average for my position was about 70 something, but agent, we're gonna give you 40 and there's nothing you can do to improve it, agent. is stuck there and there's nothing you can do about it.
Work on dribble moves. There we go. Gonna press X. Do this stupid drill again. You have to talk to the head coach if that drill pops up, and it's not always there. So every 3 team practices, you can get a +1 to your offensive consistency. So you'll see right here that my stretch big now has a 41 instead of a 40.
Shout out to Squish41 for somehow finding this out, but did you hear that? Every 3 team practices, by the way, do you know how inconsistent team practices are? You can get +1 on offensive consistency. So trying to go from 40 to 99, how impossible is that? And that's frustrating to me is when you've had it happen to you before. You'll miss open shots, whether it's mid-range or 3-point, whatever your archetype is. It's frustrating when you miss wide open shots, especially if that's your specialty. That's the one thing you're supposed to be good at. Somebody left you open. Are you fucking out your mind? And you not only, it's not a bad release, it's a good release with the maxed out player, all Hall of Fame badges. How, Sway? In fact, just yesterday I uploaded a video talking about how 2K's remaining silent about some of their patch notes. So they'll patch shooting or tune shooting and they won't say nothing about it. So it's too many lies going around. I'm trying so hard to be positive because I see channels out there that are far more negative than me. I give 2K credit where I think they deserve it, but every time I turn around, I'm like, it just seems like they're fucking something up. I want y'all to try this shit for yourself. Go in the comments and let me know originally what my career says your overall is, and then tell me when you create a player what it says in the comments, and do the hashtag #WhatTheFuck2K, WTF2K. Hit him up on Twitter. Ronnie and LD asked me, yo, what's going on over here? Because I'm trying to support the archetype system. I know games like Rainbow Six, Overwatch have similar systems where you have people with different specialties. A lot of MMOs have that, right? But in those games, they actually execute properly, so it's fun. The people enjoy it. It doesn't work in basketball. I want to be able to cross people out like Allen Iverson, then pull up. Or I want to be able to block someone with that lockdown defense like LeBron and then slash on the other end and just slam on somebody. And that's not there anymore. It's out of the game. I don't think the archetype system is completely garbage. I just think the way they implemented it was flawed immensely. In the comments, let me know, alright? Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you guys are new. I still don't think 2K17 is the worst one of all time. I'm not even fucking close. As long as 2K13 exists, it won't be. There was also 2K14, didn't like that one. It's pretty, it's below average though. It is. We'll see though if they can make the adjustments to actually make this 2K an enjoyable one. I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm out. Peace.